Hello, Scorpio. How are you? Welcome to your May 2021 monthly reading. Now, you guys were the winners of the whoever got the most views would get extra readings. You guys are the winners. You had more than 150 views more than your closest competitor. So you guys will get an extra love reading. You will get a money, finance, career reading. Thinking of doing an oracle card reading, which is generally a little bit softer, a little bit nicer type advice energy. And we'll see. We'll see if there's anything else. Please feel free to drop any suggestions in the comments below. So, going to switch things up a little bit in the way that I normally do my readings. I am going to start off using the major arcanas only. I'm going to use the Santa Muerte deck for this, and this is to help get a sense of the energies that we are going to be feeling throughout the month. Now, the reason why it's the major arcanas only is because they are the major players. Major arcana equals major energy. So this is going to kind of set the tone for the rest of May. Now, I know this is May 3rd. We had an absolutely gorgeous weekend. It was the closest thing that we've had to summer all year so far, and had to spend some time outside. Get some fresh air, do a little hiking, which is why this is not out on May 1st. Some interesting things as we get our major energies. Now, this part is a little harder to shuffle simply because it's not a huge deck. And the cards have a tendency to want to stick around in the deck a little bit more. So what are some things that we can look forward to in the month of May? Well, May is a month of change. It's a 5-5-5 month. So we are in a number 5 year. For those of you who follow numerology, 5s are about making change. And this is what this year is bringing in, is a lot of change. But on May 5th, we get the extra added boost of the 5s, hence the 5-5-5 day or 5-5-5 energy. And whenever you see that number, if you see it on a license plate, on the clock, as part of a total, that just means there's a lot of change on the way. Now, we've got 2 cards here on the table. I think this is good to start off the main energy, seeing as nothing else wants to really come out right about now. So, Scorpio, for you, what can you kind of be expecting as the overall major energy for the month of May? Well, we start off with the Star card of Aquarius. And despite the fact that its imagery and the name of Aquarius is being the water bearer, it's not water energy. There is a flow, there is a lot of balance, but there's a lot of hope and dreams coming true. This is kind of the wish upon a star, and sometimes those wishes come true. Now, the other interesting thing that we have here with the other major arcana that is coming out, it's the card of Gemini, which we will enter into Gemini season on May 20th. This is the Lover's card. This card also talks about balance. So you may be finding things are starting to shift and go or feel more balanced. Things, just the energy around you is more in balance. Your water energy is not so deep and dark and murky. It's a little lighter, or there's light on the horizon. So there is a lot of good stuff. It's just a happy and calm type energy. And Scorpios, that's when you are willing to come up to the surface and play a little bit more instead of hiding down in that deep, dark water that you are known for. Now, we have the, I almost said full moon. We have the new moon in Taurus happening on May 11th. So whatever changes that you are hoping and dreaming for, this is a great time to start thinking about how you bring that in and how do you start making those changes, because new moons are always about starting a new cycle, because that's when the moon starts a new cycle. So before we jump into the rest of the reading, I'm going to talk a little bit about the cards we're using. So the Santa Muerte cards, that is our major arcana, major energy. I'm just going to move them out of the way. Up next, we have the Crow Tarot. Now, I do love this deck. I love the mischievous crows. I am going to quickly put it out there. Whichever sign gets the most views, interactions for the month of May will get extra readings in the month of June. So I'm going to continue this this theme. So if you guys live up to your reputation so far, you guys are the superstars, then you potentially could be getting extra readings again through the month of June. Now I will plan on releasing these on a Sunday. So keep an eye out. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I release new content. It also helps get the channel to be seen. So if you share the link, if you tell your friends, hey, you're a fellow Scorpio, if you want extra readings, watch this girl, all of that helps, and it will help you potentially get extra readings in June. So with that out of the way, let's get your messages, Scorpio, for the month of May. Now, a few other things we're going to talk while we get the cards for the rest of the month. This new moon in Taurus, it's going to want us to slow down and get grounded. So that means kind of coming up to the surface again for you, Scorpio, and really take a look at what some of your values are, what it is that you do value, and focus particularly with focus on stability, especially in things that are tangible. So your investments, your employment, your finances, those are all the very things that Taurus stand for. So of course, whenever there is a new moon in a particular sign, those qualities are going to be brought in and enhanced. So this new moon is also going to be about slowing down and keeping calm. So try not to let that stinger whip around too much for you, because remaining calm, at least for this new moon period, is a really good thing to be mindful of. Now, we have a lot going on in the cosmos, just for everybody. This May, we already have Pluto in retrograde. It went into retrograde April 23rd. So that is the death and rebirth transformation, which is what your sign is all about. It's about death and transformation. You are represented by the death card in the major arcana. And it's kind of nice that that energy didn't come out, because it means it's time to let the love in and let that hope kind of shine through. Now let's see if we can get a few more cards here. We have other retrogrades that are coming in. We have Saturn going retrograde on May 23rd in the sign of Aquarius. And then we have Mercury, Mercury retrograde, May 29th, and that is going to be in the sign of Gemini. So your communications, your thinking, your thought patterns might be all over the place. Hang on, that one fell on the floor. Sorry, there's a ton of traffic outside my house right now. And what else do we have? We have the sun moving into the sign of Gemini on May 20th. We have a full moon, which is going to be a super moon on May 26th. and that is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. So there's a little bit of a fiery element to what it is that we are wanting to release and cleanse. That's what full moons are about, and that happens 4:14 a.m. Standard Eastern Time. So for quick reference, that is Toronto and New York time zones. Now, what is interesting about this full moon, it's not that it's in the sign of Sagittarius, it's not that it is a super moon, it's the fact that there is going to be a full lunar eclipse. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere, the moon is going to have a full eclipse. Now, eclipses can be extremely emotional times. I know I have a difficult time with eclipses. And this one is going to be no different. So here's a couple things that this full moon with the eclipse on May 26th is going to be all about. It is going to be about finding middle ground, as we can possibly be feeling like things are going to the extreme one way or the other. But there is a lot of focus on space and freedom and how to bring that into balance into our current lives or our current situations. And it is a great time to finish things, whether that is a course, a book, a project, and close that out, as there's a closing of a cycle, particularly with Saturn going retrograde. There's a karmic rebalancing happening with that, and we may be feeling a little bit limited and restricted with that energy. And the Saturn and Pluto retrogrades will go on until October. Mercury retrograde ends on June 22nd. So you can expect flight delays, travel delays, miscommunications, any devices, technology may crap out on you as well. Now, the overall energy outside of the major arcana is having options. We do have a couple of cards here that are talking about watery type energy, but you've got a lot of options here with the Seven of Cups, to the point that you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or that you're like, oh my God, there's too many options. How am I going to decide between all of them? Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing, because we do have a lot of very positive cards, and we do have another major arcana card that came out. Now, because I am using a separate deck, there is that possibility that you can get a double confirmation with major arcanas that come out in both decks. So we start off with the Chariot. The Chariot card of Cancer talks about movement forward in particular, because this card came out in the upright. Now, in this particular deck, see right there, there's a wreath. That is the wreath of completion with the world card imagery kind of in there. So there's something that is coming full circle for you. You may be moving or just traveling, but it does take a little bit of strength and grace under fire to go through this process. And again, when you've got a lot of options, which you are going to have to decide here with the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is being at a crossroad, needing to make a decision, but you can't really make that decision very well, because you do have a lot of options and you can't see which one might be the best route. Now, the one positive with this card is that there really isn't a wrong option. Both sides of this are good options, and that's what makes this so difficult. And again, here's your Cups energies. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed because you have so many options on how you move forward and what steps you take next. What steps you take next is going to lead to wishes being fulfilled. This is the Nine of Cups, water energy. So don't forget, you've got the Star card here influencing your overall energy And the Star card talks about hopes and dreams. Well, here is your wish being granted with the 9 of Cups. And why is this being granted? You've got the major arcana help of the Magician. The Magician is the creator, the manifester. You created these options. You created a way for this wish to be granted. You cleared the space. You did the work. You wished hard enough. You hoped hard enough. You made it very clear what you wanted. You communicated it. The Magician is also the card of Gemini, which Gemini is all about communications. I mean, I'm a Gemini. I love to talk. I love to communicate. I love all forms of communication. And you communicated what it was that you wanted and that you were bringing in. And now you've got an abundance of options here. We've got the King of Wands up next, which this card here is a little bit more of a subdued energy. The King of Wands is very businesslike, very intelligent, goes after what he wants. There's a lot of passion and drive. There can be some negative attributes in the fact that he's willing to trample over anybody who gets in his way. But at the same time, if you feel like that you've been walked all over, it might not be a bad thing to make people move, get out of your way, because you are creating this beautiful future for yourself. You're calling in your hopes and dreams, and you're seeing a lot of progress, even though the 7 of Pentacles can talk about waiting. You've done the work. All of the hard work with the 7 of Pentacles has basically already been done. You've tilled the earth, you planted the seeds, you've nurtured the seeds, you're waiting for them to grow. And I feel that's a really, this 7 of Pentacles is more of your waiting for the hopes and dreams to be coming true. Now, we will dig into this a lot more when it comes to the love reading as to whether this is a job that you've been creating and manifesting, or whether this is a love that you have been trying to create and manifest. I'm super curious. I have a handful of tarot decks around me. I always do when I do these videos. So this is the Weaver. Sorry, there's the bright light there. The Weaver Tarot, Threads of Fate. Let's see if they're willing to tell us a little bit more as to what this is that you are trying to call in and what it is that is being answered, or how it's being answered. What part of your wishes and dreams is coming true? Okay, first card that has come out talks about the ending of a cycle. So that's the first thing that you're hoping and dreaming to come true. 10 of Swords, the end of a painful cycle. You're calling in whatever this is that has caused you to go within your deepest, darkest depth of your Scorpio self. It hurt. It really hurt. And Scorpios, when you hurt deeply, and it has caused you to draw inward, but that cycle is over. It's done. The Ruler of Swords, King of Swords. You've had to make a very intelligent and informed decision here. We're trying to see more about your hopes and dreams and what's coming in. Okay, I thought I'd slow and flip over here. And what you're calling in is the end of this really painful cycle. You may have to make a decision to cut somebody or a situation out. Now, the Ruler of Swords is masculine energy, so you may have to step into that masculine energy and put your foot down and say, nope, we're not doing this cycle anymore. You've got some great cards here. You've got a double confirmation. So you've got 9 of Cups with the crows, and you've got Nine of Cups in the Weaver Tarot as well. This is definitely something that you've been wishing for quite some time. Now, all of this Swords energy that is coming in here as to what it is that you are trying to bring in and call in, it's karma. You've got the Justice card, Major Arcana card, and yes, this is the card of Libra, so some of you may be a cusper with Libra, but with the Justice card, this is karma coming in. You've been wanting to see karma play out. Well, it's happening. It's starting. I'm seeing it in my own life. I know other people are moving forward with stuff and they're starting to see karma kind of start turning in their favor and working in their favor a little bit more. But here's the best card about your hopes and dreams that you're trying to call in. You get the happiest card in the deck. This is the Sun card, Major Arcana. This is the happy ending. So you've got the painful ending here, but now it's time to celebrate and be joyful because you are calling in your biggest hopes, dreams, wishes coming true, and happiness, joy, abundance. Like I said, happiest card in the deck, it's the best card to have. And this is what you are really trying to call in and bring in for you. Seven of Cups. It's going to give you and open up a ton of options. Yeah, there's no more juggling. There's no more isolation. All of this stuff is way buried deep at the bottom of the deck. So there's no more of that icky energy of pain and darkness. You're coming out of that and you're going to be able to sun yourself because Scorpios do like the warmth. They love the sun. And when they are needing to disassociate or remove themselves, they go deep into their shell and go deep into the water. But there's karma coming in at play. There's a lot of hopes and dreams, wishes being answered, for lack of better terminology, and it's going to be a very positive, very good month for you, Scorpio. So I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up, give it a subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you don't watch the daily tarots, hopefully I will see you on the daily tarots. And if not, I will see you next week for your extra reading. Bye.